Speaking of getting old, Brad, you want to take this story? You hate old people.
I do. Well documented on this show that I am a noted ageist when it comes to politicians. So Dianne Feinstein, legendary politician, especially in California, former mayor of San Francisco. She's been in the Senate for a very long time at this point. Dianne Feinstein is also 89 years old right now.
Young. 89 years young.
Nope, I'm going to go with 89 years ageist.
You fucking ageist piece of shit. I guess next you'll tell her she can't drive, Brad. She shouldn't be driving.
So, Dianne Feinstein fell ill with shingles in early March, which is not her fault. You can't, shit happens. Can't help that. But here's the problem. Is that since March 7th, when she left D.C. to be treated for her shingles condition, she's missed 58 Senate votes, meaning that she's missed literally 3/4 of the votes that have happened in the Senate so far. Another problem is that she's a member of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. The Judiciary Committee is responsible for getting through the judicial nominees of President Biden. And without her being in the committee, it is a 12-12 split between Democrats and Republicans are hard obstructing any nominees that come up because, of course, they are, because what the fuck else would they do? So,
I mean, I would do that if I were them too.
Of course. I get it. So because Dianne Feinstein is out, basically, judicial nominees are slowing to a crawl, essentially. And basically, the call has come for Dianne Feinstein probably needs to go. Because I don't know if you know this, Jay, but generally, the health prognosis for 89-year-olds doesn't improve as time goes along. Things end up getting worse.
Again, now, I refuse to stand with you, Brad, as you besmirch the fine octogenarian audience that we have.
Look, it is okay. It is okay to be wrong. Now, Dianne Feinstein has she's in the last leg of her term. She has not yet announced whether or not
which term. Her life term or in Congress in general?
Like little column A, little column B. Jeez. She has not yet announced whether or not she's going to seek re-election at the ripe young age of 89.
Yo, come on, lady. Just
now, fortunately, a couple Democratic politicians from California, notably Barbara Lee and Adam Schiff, and I think Katie Porter has too, have all declared that they are going to seek.
Porter was
they're going to run. Oh, you're right. That they're going to seek the nomination to replace her in the Senate. So I'd have to imagine that she's probably not going to be returning back to Congress after her term ends at the end of 2024. It would be really cool, though, if Dianne Feinstein decided to leave, I don't know, like 2 months ago would have been the best time for her to leave. Yesterday would be the next best time for her to have left, and then today would be the next best time for her to have left, and every day therefore until she leaves. And here's the shit that drives me up the fucking wall. So they're going out and they're talking, like, they're, of course, like, since this is the topic of the day, they're talking to other Democratic senators about, hey, do you think Dianne Feinstein should resign? Which, first of all, is a stupid question for reporters to ask. I understand that they have to ask the question, but to expect like one of their colleagues to trash them publicly through the media is insane. Never going to happen. Like they asked Sheldon Whitehouse, and while he didn't say no, like he was like she certainly doesn't need me weighing in on her political future and this, that, or the other thing. Like that's what he said essentially. I really hope that those people behind closed doors are having that conversation with her staff at the very least. Be like, hey, can you maybe like get her to not be here anymore, perhaps? Or better yet, and I understand you don't want to embarrass someone on their way out the door. Chuck Schumer could just remove her from the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that and just
he'd be like, look, she's not here. I don't want to pull her off the committee, but look, we need someone that can actually cast votes right now, and like that's what we're doing.
Yo, you're 100 years old. You're right. 1,000 years old. It's okay Fine, you want to stay in Congress to the end of 2024. I think it's ridiculous, but whatever. But you got to get off the Judiciary Committee so that like work can get done. It shouldn't be held up. Democracy should not be held up because you are just so obstinate about retiring. It's ridiculous.
Selfish. You're selfish about it. You are literally putting yourself ahead of your constituents, ahead of the country, ahead of your party. Like that's what you're literally doing. You are putting yourself before all these people. Politics, like it's this weird conundrum that politics is, because it really needs to be one of the most selfless like positions that kind of exist in as a job. Right. Yet it's dominated by the most egotistical people in the entire world. I would love for Dianne Feinstein, if she can form a coherent thought at this point, because there's a lot of people that have said over the last couple of years that her fucking mental faculties seem to be escaping her a little bit.
But I'd love look, never forget that there was a doctor who says that they absolutely have prescribed anti-dementia medicine to someone in Congress.
Yeah. But like, I would love for her. I would love for her to explain to me how her sitting at home in San Francisco and not in DC to take votes and letting these judicial nominees get held up and stymied and all that stuff, how that is better serving the country than her stepping down from her seats and giving it up and letting someone else fill it, sit out the rest of the term for the next 2 years. Like that's literally all you're asking us to do.